Welcome to Mindflow Radio.
We are creating conscious community by sharing mindful manifesting skills and transcendental music.
We are all in this together. Reverence for all life. 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 Reverence for all Compassionate breeze.
Welcome to Mindflow Radio.
Mindflow Radio.
She's Jai Lynn.
And he's Monte.
And we're all in this together.
We are. Thank goodness.
Energy is reality, people.
Yeah.
What kind of energy are you emanating?
Me?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kind of energy.
Yeah. I'm emanating.
Yeah, we're all emanating, that's for sure. Whether we like it or not.
Yeah. Totally.
It's tricky that way.
Well, and I think it's fun to think about that our cells are 99.9% energy.
Oh, they're 100% energy, I believe. If you break it down to this, physically, you break it down to the smallest component. The smallest component is energy.
Yeah, I know. That's so cool.
It
really.
is. I mean, there's a responsibility with that, though.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, actually. Just the idea that no matter where we are, what we're doing, we're emanating energy out into the collective human energy. And that's why I think somebody who spends his or her life in a cave meditating is probably helping us hold everything together.
Yeah, right. Thank you, all you ascetics out there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Meditating with humility and grace.
I mean, there's so many spiritual teachers out there these days who feel like if they just say the right words that they're on the path.
Yeah.
And,
I've been feeling that for myself, honestly.
What?
Like I've just been stretching myself too far and not taking, I take daily time to meditate and do yoga, but I'm not going above and beyond by any means to connect with a higher energy. And I'm feeling like it's showing, possibly.
Showing in how you feel, perhaps.
Showing in how I feel and reflecting in what's available to me from the universe.
Yeah, I want to ramp up my training as well, really.
Yeah, and winter is such a good time for that too, because it's not as easy. Well, this winter's been fairly warm.
Well, it just started, really.
Yeah, I guess it.
We'll see what's going to happen. But
yeah,
it is a good time to train. Any time's a good time to train, but winter's a great time to look inwards.
Mm-hmm. Be like the bears and hibernate a little bit. Yeah,
and really just get more focused on that metacognition piece. For me, it's watching my own thoughts and understanding when I get caught up in old unproductive patterns of thinking and then not being stuck there.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get stuck there because we're kind of used to being stuck there in a way. And
I'm really grateful for my friends and for you, people that who just feel me when I'm down and just reach out to me. It's like, wow, thank you. Thank you, Erin.
Yeah.
She totally felt me last night.
One of your sisters.
Yeah, my sisters helped me through. I'm so grateful.
Uh-huh.
And, it's when you were just saying that it's our responsibility, it kind of made me feel bad a little because sometimes you just can't help when you have a breakdown.
Oh, right. Well, it's not like we need to be in control of ourselves all the time, but we just don't want to get stuck in the mud. You get stuck in a place of just like old thinking patterns that just like make us feel miserable. I mean, all of us naturally go back to those places because it's just like, it's a habitual thing. But
yeah, especially around anniversaries, and a lot of people who have trauma, their body just knows. It's the time of the anniversary. You don't even have to look at a calendar.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, this time of year is that kind of anniversary. And I'm one of them. And it's like, oh, great. Here's the holidays. Yay.
Yeah. Life can be challenging. Certainly, it's part of the human realm.
What is your professional advice on? Because a lot of people don't really have those close friends like I do, and they don't have you. I'm really lucky. I'm surrounded by love in so many ways, and I don't have to pull myself out by the bootstraps. I have friends to help me through it. And what do you have to say for people that are, they might be having a hard time right now, and they might not have any friends to call on?
Yeah.
How can you help them?
Well, I mean, there's so many variables involved with all that, but one piece of advice could be really trying to find that neutral mind state. I mean, if you find yourself stuck in some unproductive rumination, or just, a feeling of anxiety or depression, I would say just look for those moments of peace and understand that if you can get more and more in touch with the neutral mind state, that it will help raise your energy. And it will play a role in you being more resilient. And ideally, just my suggestion is just to reach out to people, even on the internet, if you're stuck at home. But reach out to people who are not steeped in negativity and who are not steeped in judgment. And trying to align your mind with a place of discernment, neutrality, and humility. That's what's really lacking in our culture, from my perspective, is so many people are so arrogant, feeling like they know the truth. This is the truth, and blah, blah, blah. And I hate you because I know the truth, whatever.
Well, I think that's a shield too. It's like a protective shield that they think is good for them. Well,
yeah. Well, because they completely identify with their thoughts and their ideas. And then if their ideas are wrong, that means
they have to change their beliefs.
Well, they mean they crumble. I mean, potentially, if you believe you are your thoughts, then you cease to exist if your thoughts change,
Oh.
But if you can understand that your thoughts are just, it's like your mind is your consciousness is like a projector that shoots projection upon the wall. And that's your thoughts. And on this, and
you are the projector.
Yes. Yeah. So you actually have the ability to change what's being projected on the wall. And but if you don't know that, and you just are stuck in old habits and believe that you are the projection, then it's just natural to get into that place of I know the truth. And that's what's like holding back our culture. That's what's creating so much discord in our culture and so much blame and shame and all that, because
division.
A large group of people are not in that place of humility. By humility, I mean you see something on the news. It's like you have your belief around it, but then you're like, well, I think it's this way, but I can't really be sure.
Right.
And just to have that humility, that openness to new variables, and it's a more evolved way of being, because we really don't know. I mean, we think we have our finger on the pulse of reality, but we really don't know what reality is.
I think to really, what you just said about the news, I think you'd have to look at all the perspectives on the news, because there's different kinds of news, and and you can search a subject and get different news sources and different perspectives.
Yeah, if you're really drawn to like figuring something out,
to knowing the
on
truth.
News, do your own research. Just don't be spoon-fed. What one or two news sources has to tell you, because from my perspective, everything on the news is spun in one direction or another, and it's maddening. It's sort of useless to really spend too much time.
You have to see who the sponsors are.
Well,
there's always money backing.
There's money,
things.
And there's tons of, again, arrogant people thinking they know the truth, like promoting division. The news. They're involved with the news, and who knows how it works. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's some like news. What's the source of the news? That's a big question.
And who's paying?
Well, and who's deciding what the news people talk about? Mm-hmm. Who makes that decision? I don't know. I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about it because it's a rabbit hole. And what I need to do is be focused more on myself and my own internal process and raising my vibration, because I know that if I can be in that neutral mind more and find more clarity in my mind, that I will draw people into my life with a similar energy. I will be connecting with that level of the collective unconscious that's progressive or inspired, or because there's different levels of the unconscious, and I don't want to be stuck in the arrogant news level of the subconscious, because that's just a drain.
Well, it reminds me of, and I know that this doesn't really match, but it reminds me of back in the day when somebody could scream through the village that accused someone of something, whether it was true or not, and like just say the witches, which it ended up that a lot of people were just having mercury poisoning from mercury in their hats and their teeth, and they were just like calling witches, and these women would just get killed because some guy accused them of something.
And then a group of people agreed.
Yeah, they're like, since
the group agrees, it must be true.
Right.
And
they don't even give her a chance to talk.
No.
They don't want to hear her perspective. They don't want to hear the whole story.
Yeah, and it boils down to just like a lack of humility.
Yeah.
Like, I know she's a witch. I know it. And then, everybody knows it. And
if she doesn't float, then she's a witch.
Humility. Yeah, right. Where's the humility of, well, I think maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah.
That's more real. Let's stop pretending that we have all the answers.
Right, but I'm addressing the idea of the groupthink idea. And that's what the news is this groupthink. Like, I'm going to feed you this perspective and you're going to believe it. You're going to talk about it with your friends.
Yeah.
And then y'all will be convinced by each other's perspective on my perspective.
Sure.
And you'll do what I want you to do.
Sure. And there's lots of examples throughout history of just the same thing. And then the whole group believes it, and then bam, a war starts.
Yep. Totally.
And
it's like, how do we get out of that? How do we, and it's interesting because, humility, curiosity, openness to whole perspectives.
Well, and being just moderate with our news intake.
Mm-hmm. It can go be like, I don't have to watch the news to hear what the news is saying,
because so many people are just parroting it.
Yeah, and so it goes beyond that. It goes to remaining curious. It goes to, if something really hits me, then I have to do my own research and look into all the perspectives. Maybe even talk to the people instead of just accuse them of things, which is hard to do because most of the people are untouchable.
Well, right, because if they're stuck in their arrogance, they're closed. it's like it's a self-made prison.
Yeah.
If I'm arrogant, my mind is closed and I'm locked in that little cage in my mind, and there's no escaping till I can reach a point of openness.
Yeah. So, let's share some thoughts of, because I know we're kind of pointing out the problem. And we're talking about the solution a little bit, but I would like to leave people with some hope. And
2021, let's let it be the year of freedom. Because it is a question of freedom. Do we want to be slave to our old thinking patterns?
Yeah.
Or do we want to be free from them? And as we create new thinking patterns in our minds, then we will be creating a new culture to live in as well. Because that's the nature of it. Our culture and our environment is a reflection of our mind state.
Yeah.
So let's
we have to work on our mind states.
Yeah, that's the core, the basis of shifting things. It begins in our own individual minds. So let's 2021 be the year of freedom and just a curious anticipation of how that will shift our culture as well.
Yeah. And I would suggest seeking groups of people who are solution-oriented, positive, supportive in the process of healing, because it's been a hard year and there's been a lot of people alone for so long.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to feel held and supported.
Well, Temple of the Mind is a good Facebook group that we're participating in that way.
Yep.
And in reality, change is difficult, but it's also really difficult to be stuck.
Yeah, it's
so
painful.
There's no getting around the
difficulties.
Let's use them. Let's put effort
to change,
into,
but it's painful to be stuck.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are these social creatures. It's just in our DNA. Not everyone is meant to be a hermit, and usually hermits have been hurt in some way, and so they are protecting themselves.
Sometimes.
Maybe it's not true all the time, but I do think that it's really important to take note of the energy that you share with others without judging yourself. Just take note. I used to be a really pessimistic person, and if somebody asked me how I was doing, I would tell them all the bad things that were happening to me. So if that's you, then just notice that that's you and that you don't wish to do that anymore. I mean, it's okay to do that sometimes with your special people, but if it's a pattern that you do all the time, you might want to shift out of it. It's hard.
Or if you find your mind just ruminating on difficulties constantly, that's a good way to stay stuck in the difficulties, essentially. And let's think of the world we want to create, and let's spend some focused effort on that.
Yeah.
In your mind, if you're not used to that, it won't be easy necessarily, but it's just getting into the new habit.
Yeah, I want to share something that someone shared on the Temple of the Mind today, and it was just really poignant for what we're talking about right now. And it is, to be happy with yourself in the present moment while maintaining a dream of your future is a grand recipe for manifestation. Yeah. When you feel so whole that you no longer care whether it will happen, that's when amazing things materialize before your eyes. And it's a quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza. So that's the kind of energy we share on the Temple of the Mind.
Yeah. That's
encouraging each other to find that place of feeling whole now, but dreaming of what could be in a beautiful world.
And letting the magic happen. I mean, that's one thing that modern physics is showing us, that when you get down to the real minute cellular level of things, it's magical, almost how things are working. And we want to hook into that.
Yeah, for sure. So this last week of 2020, how can you feed your magical self? How can you give yourself some time to find that neutral mind? Seek positive company, seek healing company, seek innovative, solution-oriented company. And, in that neutral mind space, allow yourself to witness your own patterns.
Yeah.
And be willing to shift them if they are not serving you.
Yeah.
And that's our advice for nearing. I don't think we'll be back till the first of the year. So take your time this week to assess how far you've come in 2020 and honor yourself, honor your accomplishments, and do some laughing. Laughing's good.
Silence is good as well.
Yes, silence is good too.
Moderation with screen time is good.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So be well, y'all.